Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. How are you? I hope you'll be fine. This is Cambridge Lower Secondary Mathematics Book 8. We have already started with chapter number 10, which is related to percentages, increases, and decreases. And we are done with first 7 questions. Now we'll move to question number 8, where the statement says, what percentage of 40 is 8 years? We are being told the question twisted way. It says that what percent of 40 is equals to 8. And in the second part, it says, what percentage of 8 is 40 years? So whenever such question comes where you have to find out the percentage of a given whole, so all you're supposed to do is just make a fraction out of it. How are you supposed to make the fraction in the first one? It would be 8 over 40 multiplied by 100%. In the second one, it would be 40 over 8 multiplied by 100%. That's it. Whatever answer is given to you, you'll keep it in the numerator and then you will divide it with the other number and multiply it with 100% to find out the percentage. Because it says what percentage of 40, right? So we have to divide 8 with 40 in the first one. And when it says what percentage of 8 years is 40 years, now we will divide 40 with 8, right? So in the first one, we will get 8 ones are 8, 8 fives are 40, and then 5 ones are 5, 5 into 20. So that's 20%. So we can say that 20% of 40 equals 8. And for the second one, 8 ones are 8, 8 fives are 40. Now we will multiply 5 with 100 and we will get 500. So we can say that 20% of 40 is 8. What does it mean? It means when you will divide 40 by 5, you will get 8. And on the other hand, 500% of 8 equals 40, right? Because the 100% of 8 is 8. 200% of 8 would be 2 multiplied by 8, 16. 500% would be 5 multiplied by 8. That's 40. Now, the next question says, a metal bar is 1.8 meters long. It is heated and the length increases by 0.5%. What is the absolute increase in length? First, we have to find out the increase in length. For this, we'll simply multiply 0.5% with 1.80. How are we supposed to do that? We'll multiply it. In the next step, it would become 0.5 over 100. And now we will multiply it with 1.8. Okay? So, how are we supposed to do that? In the next step, we'll multiply 0.5 with 1.8. We have already learned it in detail. That is, we'll multiply 18 by 5. That's 90. And since there are two decimal places, one in 0.5 and the other in 1.8, so the answer would be 0.9. What we will do next, we will now divide 0.9 with 100. And when we will divide it with 100, the decimal will further move 2 places backwards. Here it comes, and it will become 0.009. That is, the increase in length would be 0.009 meters. It means the metal bar has been increased by the absolute increase in length of the metal bar is 0.009 meters. Now, in the second part, it says how long is the bar now? So its length would be 1.80, the actual length, plus the absolute increase, 0.009, would be 1.809 meters. You have already learned how to add these figures. It would be 1.80 plus 0.009. We always keep the decimal below decimal in order to add it correctly. There you go. That's how we have to find out the answer. In question number 10, we simply have to work out 20% of 60, 90% of 60, 170% of 60, 260% of 60. So, students, if you people remember, I told you people that if you would calculate 10% of something, calculating any multiple of 10 would become easy for you, right? So, in all these cases, we have to calculate percentage of 60. Okay? In all these cases, the uh, distance is 60 kilometers, and we are finding different percentages of 60 kilometers. So we'll simplify if we simply find 10% of 60, that would be 60 divided by 10, and that's 6. Okay? So 60%, 10% of 60 kilometers is 6 kilometers. Now, when we have to calculate 20% of 60, it would be 2 multiplied by 6. When we have to calculate 90% of 60, it would be 9 multiplied by 6. When we have to calculate 170% of 60, it would be 17 into 6. And when we have to calculate 260% of 60, it would be 26 multiplied by 6. Always remember, if you are finding the percentage of any number and together the numbers have two zeros, then just cut down the two zeros and multiply the remainders. You will get your answer. Why? Let me show you. When we have to find out 20% of 60, how do we find it out? We remove this percentage sign and replace it with upon 100. So it becomes 20 over 100 multiplied by 60. Now what happens with these two zeros with 20 and 60 each? 0 cuts 1 0. So what will happen? We will cut the two zeros with the two zeros of 100 and will be left with the numbers without zeros. Okay? So that would ultimately become 2 multiplied by 6, which is 12. In all these cases, this would happen. 90 and 60, the 0 of 90 and 60 would cut. 170 and 60, the 0 of 170 and 60 would cut. The 0 of 260 and 60 would cut. So we'll be left with 2 into 6, 9 into 6, 17 into 6, and 26 into 6. That's how we can easily find the percentages. So the answer to the first one would be 12. 20% of 60 would be 12. 90% of 60 would be 9 times 6 is 54. Then the next one is 17 times 60 is 17 multiplied by 6 is equals to 102. So 170% of 60 would be 102. And then the last one is 26 multiplied by 6, which is 156. That's it. Okay, students. So these are the answers. 12 kilometers, 54 kilometers, 102 kilometers, and 156 kilometers. In all these cases, we simply have to multiply. We'll replace this percentage sign with upon 100 and off with multiplication sign, and there you go. Now, in question number 11, it's exactly the same. In the first row, we have to calculate different percentages of $20. In the second row, we have to find the different percentages of 50 kilograms. In the third one, we have to find different percentages of 90 meters. So we'll do the same thing. As you see, in all these percentages, 40%, 140%, 280%, and 420%. What is happening? We have zeros in all four numbers, and the numbers over here are $20, 50 kgs, and 90 meters. So again, we have zeros in it. So when we will find the different percentages of 20, we'll cut the 0 of 40, 140, 280, 420, and the 0 of 20 as well. So we'll be left with 4 multiplied by 2, 14 multiplied by 2, 28 multiplied by 2, and 420 multiplied by 2. That's it. So 4 times 2, 40% of 20 is 4 times 2, that's 8. 140% of 20 is 14 multiplied by 2, and that's 28, right? So here comes $28. In the next one, we have 280% of 20. So 28 multiplied by 2 is equals to 56. Here comes $56. And they have already calculated 420% of 20. That is 42 multiplied by 2, which is $84. Okay. And if you find it difficult, students, so you can use the conventional method, which says that if you have to find out the 40% of 50, so it would be 40 upon 100 multiply by 50. That's what we have learned in the earlier grades as well. 0 cut 0, 0 cut 0. Then we are left with 4 multiply by 5. So it would be 4 fives are 20. That's 20 kgs. For the second one would be 14 multiply by 5, and that's 70 kgs. The third one is 20% of 50. So it's 28 multiplied by 5, which is 140. And the last one is 420%, that's 42 multiplied by 5, which would be 210 kgs. Now in the last row, we have 90 meters and we have to find out 40%. So it would be 4 nines are 36 meters. The second one is 14 multiplied by 9, which is 126 already given, right? And then 80% of 90 would be 28 multiplied by 9, which is 252. And the last one is 420. So 42 multiplied by 9 equals 378. And it's done. Here comes question number 12, which says the mass of a child is 22 kgs. In the next 10 years, this mass increases by 150%. If the mass will increase by 150%, we have to calculate 150% of 22. How are we supposed to do that? It is 150 upon 100 multiplied by 22. 0 cuts 0. Then we are left with 15 into 22. So we can say that 5 threes are 15 and 5 twos are 10. 2 ones are 2. 2 into 11 is 22. So the final answer would be 33. 3 elevens are 33 kgs. It means the mass of the child would increase by 33 kgs. It's 22 kgs right now, and it will increase by 33 kgs, not increase to 33 kgs. Okay. So that's the increase, pure increase, absolute increase. Now, what would be the mass after 10 years? So it would be 22, the mass right now, plus 33. That's 55 kg. So the new mass of the child after 10 years would be 55 kgs. Right? Now the next question says a shop list its prices in a table. There are three items. Table cost $280, armchair $520, bed $1,040. It says in a sale all the prices are reduced by 30%. So what would be the sales price? So if all the prices are being reduced by 30%, what we will do, we will find 30% of $280. Then we will find the 30% of $520. Then we will find 30% of 1040. So again, we have a 0 here, here, two zeros here, two zeros here. So what we will do, we will cut the two zeros with the 0 of 100, and then we will multiply 28 with 3, which is 84. So the price of table will reduce by $84. For the armchair, it would be 52 multiplied by 3, which is $156. It means the price of armchair would reduce by $156 from $520. And for the last one, we will multiply 104 with 3. Which is $312. So the prices will reduce by $84 for the table, $156 for the armchair, and $312 for the bed. So they're not asking us how much price will be reduced. They're saying Calculate the sales prices. So what would be the sale price after these reductions? We have to do one more step. For this, what we will do? We will subtract 280 with 84, 520, the old price of armchair with 156, the reduction. And for the bed, the original cost was 1040 and it has been reduced by 312. So for the first one, 280 minus 84 is equals to 196. So the new price for the table would be 196 after reduction. For the second one, armchair, it would be 520 minus 156, which is 364. So the new sale price for the armchair would be $364. And for the last one, that is the bed, it's 1040. So 1040 minus 312, which is 728. So the new price of the bed would be $728, right? These are the sales prices. Next question says, how much would you save if you bought all three items in the sale? How much would you save? Simple. Simply add the reductions. That is 84 plus 156 plus 312. If you will buy these three items in sale instead of buying it on their original price, you will have the opportunity of availing these reductions, these discounts. So the price you can save, the amount that you can save if you buy all three items would be the total of these three discounts, that is $552. So the answer to part B would be $552. Here's the next question, which says electricity costs are rising by 8%. Okay. The table shows the cost for 1 year for 4 customers. You have to copy the table and fill in the last column to show the cost for 1 year after the price rise. Since the electricity costs are rising by 8%, so cost before the rise is 415. If it will rise by 8%, it would be 8 over 100 multiplied by 415. So what we will do, we will divide 415 with 100 and then we will multiply it with 8. So we will get 33.2. It means the cost of electricity for customer A will increase by $33.2, right? Then for the second customer, it would be 6.29 multiplied by 8, and that's 50.32, right? And for the third customer, it would be 8 over 100 multiply by 1390. Whenever you'll be provided with the percentages along with the total, you simply have to do this step. So what we will do next, we will multiply 1390 with 8 and we will get the answer as $111.2. So for the third customer, it will increase by $111.2. So what would be the cost after the rise? For the first one, it would be 415 plus 33.2, which is 448.2. Now you simply have to add column number 1 and column number 2. For the second one, it's 629 plus 50.32, which is 679.32. For the last one is 1390 plus 111, which is 1501.2. So the new electricity costs would be 448.2, 679.32, and 1501.2 after a rise of 8%. And then they're saying copy and table Copy the table and fill in the last column to show the cost for 1 year after the price rise. So let's see. You can assume any cost for customer D, right? And then you'll repeat the process. Now let's do one more question, which says a garage is reducing the prices of cars. In the previous question, the prices were increasing, rising by 8%. And now here, the prices are getting reduced. There is a decrease. Okay. So we'll repeat the same process. That is, the models of the cars are given as Ace, Beta, and Caro. And the old prices are given 15,800, 21,300, 24,200, and the decrease in percentage is also given. That is, the first car has been reduced by 2%. So first we will calculate 2% of 15800, which is 2 over 100 multiplied by 15,800. So the two zeros will get cut with two zeros and we'll be left with 158 into 2. Now we will multiply it. So 158 multiplied by 2 is equals to 316. It means the price will reduce by $316. Okay. And after the reduction, the price would be 15,800 minus 316. So the new price would be $15,484. Right? Now, for the second one, there is a percentage decrease of 12%. So what we will do, now we will find the 12% of 21,300, which is 12 over 100 multiplied by 2,1,300. So two zeros will cut the two zeros and we'll be left with 12 multiplied by 312, which is 2,556. Okay. Now we will subtract it from 21,300 and we will get the answer. That's 18,744. Okay. And now the last one, that is 24,200. So now we will find 0.5 upon 100. Two zeros cut two zeros. And now we will multiply 242 with 0.5, which is 121. So the third car's price will reduce by $121. Now we'll simply subtract it from 24,200 and we will get the final answer, which is 24,079. So students, we have completed the questions till 15. We'll do the remaining questions in the next video. Until then, take care. Do subscribe to my channel if you are new. Allah Hafiz.